Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Kusogrand8. I want to give a shout out to Yuge for resubscribing as well as Blasphemous Roar, and Yuge gifting a sub over to Gravash. Thank you all so much. Now, for those who don't know, this is my main gig that I do. I was running a show over at GDQ, but unfortunately that is on hiatus. The season is over. I don't know if or when it's going to come back. I hope it does. But all of the support that you give helps me to keep this running, so all of those subs and gift subs definitely help me out. Thank you all so much. If you're not able to do that, though, you are more than welcome to share clips or just follow, just watch. You can be a lurker. I love you, lurkers. Oh my gosh, Mooware, thank you for those gift subs. You are super generous. I very much appreciate that. Oh my gosh. Bill B, thank you for resubscribing as well. Bad Check Pun, thank you. Thank you. And just so you know, GDQ wasn't specifically targeting me as having the show off. They ended up needing to change a lot of hotfix. It's going through some reorganization over there, and that's fine. Like, I actually feel like they made the right decision there. So no hate over there. Nothing but love to GDQ. Bad Check Pun. I love your name, and I love that you subbed. Now, it is that time. Let's go ahead and go over to the game reveal. Take us on over, Crappy. Pass PP Hammer. Oh my gosh, I forgot. He just looks so happy. Okay, look at PP Hammer. Look at this guy. Come on. He's just hammering away. Everybody, I think we've had enough PP hammering, and let's go ahead and have somebody else do something. So please welcome on in our GM for game number 3 of the day, Shrambles. Come on in, Shrambles. Let's chat a bit about what game you have. Hello there.
Hey, Brosentia, how are you?
I'm doing great. We had a lot of PP hammering, and now we get something else.
I mean, as long as you PP hammer safely, then feel free to go nuts, as they say.
Always wear your safety equipment, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways.
A lot of fun matches so far.
It's been a good day. Yeah, we have a great crowd, too. Like, honestly, having 300 people on a Sunday afternoon, this has been nice. Thank you so much, everybody. Shrambles, what do you have today?
So I know in the first, week of Kusogrand8, we had a RoboCop theme. I don't have a RoboCop game, but I do have a RoboCopter game. So I have a game for the Super Nintendo. It is a port of an arcade game that is actually pretty good, but let's just say any kind of semblance of quality moving to a console is not very good. So I have Steel Talons for the Super Nintendo.
I gotta make bird noises, you know? I hear something bird-related, I gotta make a bird noise. Well, everybody, we're gonna be flipping all those, I don't think you flip copters. No, whatever, we're gonna go choppa for 1 hour.
A copter upside down is probably not the safest method of flying a helicopter.
It's fine. But the players are going to have 1 full hour to try to make as much progress as they can. Whoever does, of course, takes the victory. Whoever doesn't ends up getting 2 points. That's still enough to stay in the tournament. Nobody's getting eliminated today. Instead, we just have one player who's going to have a huge advantage going into match number 2, and one player who's going to be really fighting for their lives after this match. I love the group stages because, everybody gets at least 2 matches that they get to play in. They get to sort of experiment, see what Kusogrand8 is all about. And honestly, for me, whenever I play, it's like, as long as I don't even care if I lose. As long as I do somewhat okay, I'm going to be happy. Yeah. Now, with that said, what is the general way to track this game? What are we looking for?
So Steel Talons is mission-based. So we have 14 different missions in this game. and most of them are going to be route enemies. But some of them are just like get to the finish line. So we're going to be tracking based off of mission success, and the trick with some of the missions is that they actually have time limits. So you need to actually hit a specific par time in order to complete the mission.
Gotcha.
And so progress will be tracked by mission completes passed. If they don't pass it and they complete it but fail it, that also will be a mark of progress. And then within the actual missions themselves, if there are targets they need to destroy, but they don't manage to win the mission, if they like crash or just run out of fuel, that will also be a mark of progress.
Gotcha. Okay. Luckily, we do have a set of referees who have been helping so much already. Like, I want to give a shout out. I can't look at the names for this specific match right now because I'm doing setup, and every single screen in this freaking game has a different resolution. This is a nightmare. Okay, Shrambles?
I mean, the Super Nintendo is wild sometimes with, because like there's some games that will like expand if you're playing. I think I was playing like there's the what's the game where there's numbers, and I'm just not even gonna try to Pictocross. There we go, Picross.
Yeah.
There's a Picross game on the Super Nintendo that will just like jump your resolution in between like scene transitions.
Yeah,
So.
I believe it. And this game, like, it's not necessarily changing resolutions, but it's like giving black borders on certain screens, and every screen is just different. So I'm getting it as close as possible, and I'll recapture as needed because I don't want to take too long to get started. I want to jump into this match, you know.
Yeah, agreed. And you're going to see exactly why this game I have selected for Kusogrand8 today. As soon as we start.
Yeah, we can do that. Let me go ahead and make sure that we've got good game audio. I hear nothing. Is there no oh,
no, there should be audio on the
I know why.
Mission select screen.
Don't worry. I just messed it up. That's all. Okay, this is good music. I like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things about this game, but you will see why it's not a good game as soon as they start.
Yeah, question, did we already verify that everybody is in the right location for their stream?
Yes, so they are going to be starting on the training mission.
No, I mean that they're in the correct corner, that they're streaming to the right location.
Oh, let's double check that.
Yeah, so in general, I want them to put a picture on their layout so that I can see and make sure that it is their stream. Some people have been putting stupid pictures on, and it's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, with this whole new setup, it's an interesting transition from going to this server stuff to going to just personal streams, where it was pretty obvious to know who's who.
Yeah, I'm very picky about this because, like, if I don't look in it, it's gonna be fine until it's not fine. Okay, Tenmiku, spinning helicopter. I'm just making sure. Okay, yeah, we've got the helicopter. Okay. Is this how you play the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's optimal play style, I would say.
Okay, and I am just waiting for everybody else. We're going to have some recapturing. Don't worry about it, everybody. It's fine. Okay, I think Jean Fluff is working on resizing and arranging things. That confirms to me that that is the right location there.
Oh yeah, Jean Fluff actually has the PDF manual open that I gave them, which is one way to check.
Yeah.
So I was kind. I did give the players the manual. It's round 1. So I just thought, it's not too mean of a game as long as I give them the manual. Because that rectifies everything.
Okay. I believe we almost have everything verified. I see blue hair on KM's side. Everyone should be set.
I'm excited to see some Steel Talon action.
Wow. Okay, so apparently KM was looking for something that they could actually show on stream. Wow. Instead of probably butts. Probably 5 butts. Yeah. Jean, I will probably need to recapture Jean, and that's fine. Or Jean Fluff. How do you say it?
I believe it's Jean Fluff, but I will double check that.
I actually have a pronunciation guide, but I forgot to look at it.
I had it open and then I closed it. So
everybody, you need to spam your helicopter emotes or anything spinning. Spin, 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 spin. Spam your emotes now, because as soon as we see movement in the first stage, I will start our timer. And I will resize Jean Fluff in just a sec.
All right, so immediately, can you see the flaw of this game, Brosensha?
Yes. Okay.
So,
for a helicopter game, it's a little choppy.
Because this game has no frames.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, this is like Superman 64, but bad.
Yeah, so luckily this is the only mission, I believe, where they need to fly through rings. And it just so happens to be the training mission.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're not going to fly through rings like when you're actually at war. Duh. That's not how it works.
Yeah, this may be one of the worst frame rate games I have ever seen.
This is impressive. What have you done, Shrambles?
So this is a game I actually had prepped for the GM bracket. For those who don't know, I participated in the GM bracket as a first-time game master.
Yeah.
And I had this game prepped, but I wasn't able to give it out to any of the GMs. So I just thought, I have this prepped, I have it ready. Let's just give it to the players for a first round to let them know, welcome to Kusogrand8.
Yeah, this is a welcome, all right. Yeah, everybody, usually our GMs are a little kind when it comes to round 1, and they give something that is, playable. Something that people leave thinking, there were some bad things, but I kind of like that. Or sometimes oh, this game is right on the border of being good. I want to return to this. I have a feeling this is not going to be one of those games.
I mean, I honestly think, outside of the frame rate, this game is honestly decent.
Outside of the frame rate, okay. That's more than an asterisk. That is, whoa.
Oh, yeah, I guess we should mark, I think I let the players know, I let our refs know, we should mark that this game has potential motion sickness warning. So for anyone in chat who is watching this, who is potentially getting sick watching this, that there is a warning that we should include. If we could, I think it was updated, but just double checking to make sure.
Yeah, we should definitely. If what you have seen so far is already making you a bit sick, it's not going to get better. If anything, it'll get worse. Is there other than that, are there any flashing lights? Is that the main warning
there are no
that we have?
flashing lights.
Okay.
It's just the motion sickness warning. That's really the only flaw of this game.
Now, if you like getting motion sickness, then this is the game for you.
As we can see,
No. Don't watch it if you get motion sickness. Well, looking at the screen, by the way, we've got 4 players here, and some of them I recognize. I'm not sure if we've had the prediction put up quite yet, but I believe we have 2 veterans and 2 new players. Camlone Mousewolf and Ted Miko have been around here for quite a while, but I don't recognize Jean Fluff or Pigeon Rat.
yeah, I know that I think Pigeon Rat was saying in the race chat, the match chat, that this was their first match. They're nervous. They didn't know what to expect. And I think at one point someone stated that they would prefer this game to the 2 games that was already on today. So we will see if that sentiment stays true after the hour.
Yeah, so KM is typing in Discord. For some reason, KM is back to combat mission, and I don't know what that means.
So that is the first mission of the game. So I don't know if they actually passed or not. I didn't see the screen.
Do they have to pass training before going to mission 1?
So
Okay.
at the end screen, there should be a screen that says pass or fail.
Gotcha. Nakarashi says they did pass, but I think KM went back to the training screen again, or didn't. I don't know. I don't know anymore. But yeah, passing is required. You have to pass it.
Yeah, so in the manual, there are times that are the par times in order to pass these specific missions. And so they actually have a reference for how fast they actually do need to complete these missions.
Now, I have somebody trying to correct me and say that this is a Genesis game, but I believe this version is the Super Nintendo version,
So
right?
yeah, this is the Super Nintendo version. So there are a few different console ports. There is a Genesis version as well as an Atari Lynx version.
An Atari Lynx version? Oh, okay, beautiful. You know, why not put the worst frame rate game on a handheld system? That sounds fan-freaking-tastic.
And so Jean Fluff did complete the mission, but was not able to pass it. So they will need to do this training mission again.
Oh, perfect. My gosh, what have you done?
You know, when you have things prepped and you want to use them, you just use them. That's just my philosophy.
Yeah. I've never seen this game before. I've probably seen the box art somewhere, but overlooked it because I'm like, oh, it's another one of those generic, like, military games, and I don't want to play any of those. This is not generic. This is horrifying. Well, I mean, it's kind of generic, but this is horrifying. This is the type of frame rate that I would expect on the Atari with something of this quality. Like Atari 800, I've seen better frame rates, okay?
Yeah, I mean, this is a arcade port, and the arcade game is very good, in my opinion. Like, it runs smoothly, you can understand movement, but when they ported it, it just didn't play correctly.
Yeah, I think I would agree there. I mean, the Atari version came out in 1991. The Super Nintendo version came out 2 years later. And the thing is, like, yeah, Star Fox was on the Super Nintendo, but that was... Didn't they have to use a special chip within Star Fox in order to make it run well? Like, they put a lot of work into that.
Yeah, this game does not use the Super Effects chip. It does not use Mode 7 in any way.
This doesn't use Mode 7?
No, this does not use Mode 7 in any way whatsoever.
Well, there's your problem. No Mode 7. Then again, you don't really need Mode 7 because you're not really getting textures on the ground. You know, all you have is a single color on the ground. So... really, all you have to do is treat that as a background that tilts according to the direction that your helicopter is going. which honestly, Mode 7 would probably do that a lot better, but I could see them programming it to not use Mode 7. And I hate it.
Yeah. Oof. I mean, I'm already getting exhausted watching this, and this was a curse I put on both of us and everyone in chat and everyone playing this.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember, Placentia, the first match I GM'd, the exact phrase I stated about how I wanted to be viewed as a GM?
I think that you wanted people to fear you?
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Why? Love. I want people to love me.
I've already given up on love, so I might as well go for the opposite emotion.
You've given up on love? Everybody, you better love... Somebody hurry up and love Shrambles, okay? So that we can get out of this. What is this music? Oh, there we go! Jean-Fluff has passed the training mission on... yeah.
So is moving on to Mission 1. Lone Mouse is also on Mission 1 still trying to get a hang of kind of balancing. It's so much like you try to overcorrect. Like in the manual, it gives you tips on how to play the game. And it says, I believe, a series of short, light taps on the control pad will keep steering under better control than if you press and hold the control pad.
Yeah, that sounds like most driving games or like racing games. If you hold left or right, you'll often oversteer. That's a problem whenever you have... What is it, digital rather than analog? Simply put, because it's either on or off, you can't have degrees of left or right, you know. It wasn't until you had analog sticks that you could have that kind of refined movement. Yeah. But with that said, when you have 2 frames a second, does it really matter? The answer is yes, it matters a great deal because it's still calculating between these frames.
So, the one thing I fear, which no one has pushed this button yet, no one has decided to go into cockpit view yet.
Okay.
I don't think it helps, but it's one of those like, well, I have the option, maybe it might be better.
Beautiful. I mean, it might. I would try it. Now, I do want to note that for the Super Nintendo version, the only people who got credits were the people who did music. Oh, wait, JK, they were uncredited. However, Nick Eastridge and Scott Marshall worked on the music for this. Nick Eastridge also did music for... we've got James Bond Jr., the Chess Master on Super Nintendo, Captain Planet and the Planeteers on NES. They got to thank you for that. Myth History in the Making. Paperboy 2? What? Paperboy 2? How about Mule for NES, which I love, and I love the music for that. And also, apparently, some of the music for the GBA version of Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. The other person who did audio did some for Frogger 2. Frogger on Genesis did the programming for that. Oh no, they did the port for Crossbow for DOS? That can't be good. We've had the arcade version on Kusogrand8. Oh no.
I mean, so they have a pedigree. They definitely have a pedigree.
Ghoul School, there we go. Oh, Nicktoons Racing did the audio for that, which oddly is one of the better racing games on the Game Boy Color. In my opinion. It's not too bad. And, of course, GBA M&M's Blast. You know, every M&M's game is perfect. It's just true. Hey, Jean-Fluff also got Ace. It looks like everybody is kind of learning how to play this game. Pigeon Rat has completed training, and did I beat that mission fast enough is what they're asking in Discord. Can you go and check Discord?
So I can see that it says completed. So you can see completed on their screen.
Okay. Yeah, I just ask.
Yep. I'll clarify that in the match chat.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So right now, it looks like Jean Fluff is possibly in the lead here, with KM in second, Pigeon Rat in third, and Tenmiku in fourth. Tenmiku sometimes takes a little while to really get rolling, but has shown themselves to be a very strong player here. Now, I do want to say thank you to the refs who are watching this very closely, all at 2 frames per second of it, and are keeping a pretty solid watch on the progress here. Yuge, Nakarashi, Reverend Gumby, and Buster Curry being the main referees, with Sober Dwarf in the wings. Many thank yous to all of you for helping keep track of what is happening here. Yeah, it's right now Tenmiku is the one who is in the last, but when you have a full hour for a match, honestly, the first half hour, don't worry too much. You're learning how to play the game. You know, if you can make progress, great, but if you can't, don't worry too much. It's just, you know, you want to learn how to play the game. And the important thing is to learn how to play it reliably so that you can make progress in the second half of the match.
Yeah, I will say that the training mission is a very rough starting mission.
Really?
Since like it is about control, getting through these rings. That's probably because the controlling is one of the hardest parts of this game. Actually tracking down enemies and shooting them, since most of your shots do track, it's not that hard to actually destroy enemy helicopters.
Yeah, Tenmiku is back to the title screen. Did Tenmiku reset?
Yeah, I think Tenmiku is just resetting, I think just to probably air themselves. Just kind of, because I see this a lot in Mystery Tournament. For those who don't know, Mystery Tournament is sort of like Kusogrand8, but the games aren't necessarily bad. Where sometimes you just kind of clear your head. You just kind of reset, or you get that game over that you have unlimited continues, just to kind of refresh yourself, give yourself a little mental breather.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, somebody is also saying that Tenmiku was at 3:35 when the target was 3 minutes and 30 seconds, which would also explain the reset there. But I would still let it play through to see if it says that I failed. If it does say that I failed, then bam, we're done. Let's go ahead and hit that reset. So,
and Pigeon Rat actually getting an ace time on mission 1.
So
he's moving on to mission 2.
Yeah, it seems like Jean Fluff and Pigeon Rat are really getting a pretty solid understanding of how this game goes. They're doing very well. KM had a very early lead, but is struggling a bit with the first mission here. Now, it says the number of targets that you need to destroy, right? At a little bit above the weird, I don't know, at the top of the HUD. I don't know everything that's on the HUD. We've got, like, sometimes it shows a picture of a tank.
Yeah, so to explain some of the things on the HUD, so the bottom left, obviously, you have your speedometer. The one to the right of that is going to be your altitude meter. So that's going to just let you know how high or low your altitude is. Because, you have those pyramids around. Very common army building.
Obviously.
The middle is your map, which will then display the thing that is targeted if you're nearby it. And so there's just like, looks like gas canisters, tanks, helicopters. There will be jets. I think the issue that Lone Mouse is dealing with is that they keep not having enough altitude, so they keep crashing into the ground.
Yeah, you don't want to crash into the ground. How can you see? Well, okay, the second dial on the bottom, that shows your altitude. The yellow number essentially shows how many hundreds of feet you have. So if it hits 000, you do not want to go down anymore, because if so, you're going to hit zero altitude and blow up. Hey, there we go. KM is through and moves on to the next level. That is a passing grade on to level 2 here. There is a lot of sound happening.
Yeah, I mean, at least the sound isn't playing at 3 frames a second.
I think I would prefer that. What? Like, there were monkeys or something. I don't like this.
Well, I mean, there's only 40 minutes left for Sencha.
I know, like...
We'll be done with it in 40 minutes.
Good. We better be. By the way, thank you, Team Murdoch, for subscribing, and everybody else. I sometimes have a hard time acknowledging you during matches, but I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. We are currently playing Steel Talons to see who is able to make the most progress over the course of the hour. And honestly,
Ken Miku has
Yes!
passed it and is celebrating with their own text.
I love it. Good job, Tenmiku.
Oh, and we're going to see if Jean Fluff actually has enough, and has enough. Just get to move on to Mission 3.
Jean Fluff is definitely in the lead.
And so now I think we're going to hit our next stopping point. So this Mission 3 is not a target mission. This is a race mission.
Oh, no.
So
I don't
you
like
need
that.
So if we pay attention to Jean Fluff right now, you have to navigate your helicopter through a ravine. So very tight quarters. We will see if this will be successful.
Oh, no. Follow the river. Yeah, you see this pop up. It doesn't look too bad, except that there is no frame rate. And it keeps warning you of a collision. Well, duh, of course we're almost colliding with stuff. Do you see where we're flying? That warning does nothing to help. Like, a warning is useless if it's always there. If you warn for everything, you're warning for nothing.
And it looks like Pigeon Rat is also onto the race mission as well.
Okay. Very nice. Both of them making some pretty solid progress here. Tenmiku, is starting to get the hang of things. I think KM as well. I expect both of them to start making a significant amount of progress pretty soon. All it takes is for Jean Fluff or Pigeon Rat to fail one mission, and that opens the door for somebody else to catch up really quickly.
Yeah, and as soon as you kind of get an adjustment to the frame rate, which, some people might not ever get adjusted to it, but it looks like Jean Fluff and Pigeon Rat have at least gotten a sense of how to actually control this helicopter in this environment.
Yeah, they're doing really well navigating this. Like, how did you feel controlling, like, this type of section? Did you struggle a little bit with... flying through?
I ended up doing exactly what Pigeon Rat did. I'm a speed demon, so I'd like to hold the speed button as fast as I possibly could. But by doing that, I couldn't turn, and so I would constantly crash into the wall.
Yeah, yeah. Checks out.
With the fact that the wall is exactly the same color, pretty much as the wall next to it, it is sometimes hard to tell where the wall actually starts.
Yeah. I don't like this music. Okay, somebody needs to ban this music from existence. It's killing me. Tenmiku getting an ace on level 1, moving on to level 2.
Yeah, so this is the part. So, okay, Pigeon Rat has actually completed it before Jean Fluff, getting the ace time. And I think Jean Fluff is also going to pass, so Pigeon Rat actually takes the lead.
Very
with
nice.
a faster completion.
Wow. Like, that was stealing it. Yeah, didn't Jean Fluff do it in like one attempt, but Pigeon Rat beat it faster?
Yeah, Jean Fluff took their time to actually beat this level, where Pigeon Rat was just had to make sure that that line of dialogue. This game has dialogue, and you can hear it.
It's actually really like, it's not very compressed. You can hear it very clearly.
Yeah. So now we have jet planes. So you do want to take those out before they do get in the air, because as soon as they get into the air, that's when they can actually start shooting you.
Oh, the thing that sounds like monkeys, that's just saying there's an enemy. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the enemy radar.
Okay, I'm understanding now. I thought it was part of the music, but no, it's the enemy radar. I am so good at video games, everybody. Uh-oh. Fuel is low for KM Lone Mouse Wolf. Question, what happens if you run out of fuel?
So if you run out of fuel, it is a full game over.
Okay.
But I have provided the players with a password. I think that's going to be... They did get all the targets, but they crashed at the end!
No! KM, no!
Oh no! I didn't think that would happen!
That is beautiful.
That is absolutely tragic.
Well, that's all right. Unfortunately, that does not count as a pass.
No, they
and
did not see the screen.
yeah, KM is going to have to do it again. You know, a bit of a heartbreaker, but welcome to Kusogrand8. Everybody's heart gets broken at some point. Ten Miku and KM Lone Mouse Wolf are on mission 2. The other players are on mission 4. Right now, it looks like Pigeon Rat only has 4 targets left. Jean Fluff 6. Remember, for Kusogrand8, if somebody gets a game over and has to go back significantly, we still count their best attempt as the metric for scoring. So essentially, set your high watermark, and then you will be good at that point, even if you do get a game over. So,
and I did give the players the benefit of save stating at the mission select. They have the password that unlocks every mission. So there is no really big loss of progress, mostly because I just wanted to see these players in the game as much as possible.
I love that. I think that, you know, this is an action game. We want to see the action. We want to see the helicopters.
We want to see all 5 frames of action.
You know, that's actually an exaggeration. We don't have 5 frames.
But Jean Fluff actually getting the lead back.
Very nice, Jean Fluff. Moving into the lead. Pigeon Rat very shortly behind, though. There we go. Mission complete. Wait. You don't even have to fly anywhere specific in order to pass the level.
No, you just have to route the enemies.
So KM got extremely unlucky, is what we're saying.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think just because they didn't have any fuel, there needs to be at least, I guess, a few extra frames to fly, like 2 more blocks or pixels, in order to actually get that completion screen to appear. But yeah, Ten Miku now on to stage 3, mission 3, and probably has to do something they don't want to do, is control this helicopter. This is such a beautiful game.
No, it's not. This is hideous. Like, look, we've got gross, like, semi-dead grass. We've got puke canyons. okay? Like, they couldn't even get decent colors for the game.
I mean, it's clearly a river. Look at it. It's dried up.
Dried up. I mean, it's a river valley. You know, rivers. In essence, that's the flood area for the river, how wide it is. If there's a flood, it's going to fill up the rest of this canyon, you know? Oh no, Ted Miku crashes into the wall!
I'm looking at Cam Mouse. I'm hoping they can get these last two enemies. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get it before the par time. Ooh, and Pigeon Rat taking a death. So when you do die, you lose 1 fuel. So it's not like a complete loss.
Okay.
But like with the par time, sometimes taking a crash is going to make it a lot harder for you to actually finish it.
I imagine in some cases that could potentially help if you fly in one direction for a long time in order to go back to the main base instead of flying all the way back. It could be advantageous. But, you know, that's something that I'm not sure I would be thinking about while playing this. My main goal would be to stay alive and to not mess up horribly. But yeah, if I have a lot of refuels in, like, listed up there, if I still had 4 of them, sure, crash. Let's go ahead and get back to the main base so that I'm closer to the rest of the obstacles to fly in the other direction. I do like that there's at least that sort of meta strategy that you can do here, and Ted Miku is through level 3 onto level 4.
So catching up, still a mission behind. John Fluff finishing with an ace. John Fluff is actually really getting a good handle on the controls of this game.
Yeah, doing extremely well. Speaking of controls, what are the controls here? I have no idea.
So your basic controls, you have X to increase altitude, Y to decrease altitude. A is your missiles, which you have very limited amount. B is your machine gun, which you have a limited amount. L and R are your kind of swivel, your helicopter.
Okay.
So up is to increase your speed of the helicopter. Down is to decrease. Left and right are to move left and right. And then I think that's everything outside of select, making you go into cockpit controls.
Okay. Ooh, I've got some lunch. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. By the way, I love that we have people noting that this is complicated in SNES, and I kind of agree with that. When you program it incorrectly, it gets really, really choppy. The SNES was definitely capable of more than this.
Yeah, no, there are definitely decent helicopter controlling games. Pilot Wings having a helicopter mission, which is very good.
Yeah. Like, Pilot Wings, really cool. Like, if you take advantage of Mode 7, that makes life a little bit easier. Getting some of the polygonal stuff here, again, maybe that is what ends up leading to a lot of choppiness. It's just a bit of a complicated shape, but again, we've seen other Super Nintendo games that didn't have the Super Effects chip that did this well.
Yeah, I think it's probably just the issue of them trying to port the successful arcade steel Talons to these consoles.
Yeah.
And trying to, like, keep all of, like, the integrity of that game. Because it says, I think, in the manual that this is a true, like, it's a true port. They tried to keep everything in the arcade version into the console version. And I think because of that, without even like realizing the limitations that like the Super Nintendo had, trying to port something that an arcade has so much freedom than a Super Nintendo, you get something like this.
I mean, the thing is, like, the developer was Atari, and unfortunately Atari / Tengen had a terrible reputation whenever they tried to bring anything over to the Nintendo or Super Nintendo. Why? First off, Nintendo didn't want Atari's games on their console. So Nintendo was not at all going to do anything to help their competitor sell games for the Nintendo. Second, Atari, usually just tried to work around Nintendo's restrictions and get something on there without Nintendo's permission. And usually, I'm thinking they did the game Pyramid, which is legendary in the Kusogrand community, a Tetris-like that is absolutely abysmal. The label Tengen, unfortunately, did not have a lot of good stuff attached to it. And finally, if you have a version of a game that did well in the arcade and try to put it on something that is significantly less powerful, you have to simplify it. If you don't, then you have to find you have to cut some sort of corner. You have to do something to make it work. And if you aren't doing that, then you're going to end up with a terrible frame rate here. Honestly, I'd say that Atari management, they were aiming for the stars, but oh boy, they missed.
Yeah, and it's such an odd thing to have the frame rate be the thing that you just cut back on. Make this game without music. I think it would probably make possibly the frame rate run a little better.
I don't know if the music would do that. How about you?
Just something, yeah.
Well, again,
they're already taking up half of the screen space.
If they're trying to develop something for Nintendo, which is a direct competitor in the video game console world, I'm not too surprised that they may have had difficulties actually getting development information in order to make something smooth. The console wars were real, they're still real, but they got kind of vicious back in the 90s, holy cow.
Yeah, so Jean Fluff and Pigeon Rat have moved on to Mission 7. I believe Tenmiku is on either 4 or 5. And then, unfortunately, KMS Mouse is still chopping away at Mission 2, I think.
Yeah, KM has been struggling with this, but nobody should feel bad. Everybody struggles with something different when it comes to a video game, and with something like this, I'm not sure that you need to brag that you're the best at Steel Talons for the Super Nintendo. In very specific circles, like our circle, we would absolutely praise that, but you don't have to be good at this, okay? You don't, this game is bad, and don't feel bad if you can't play it. That's just life,
I don't know how to respond to that, but we'll leave that in the air for you don't have to be good at bad things. But why do we have Kusogrand8 then?
Why do we have Kusogrand8? To make me laugh.
Are you laughing, Brossentia? Is this making you laugh?
This is hilarious. Watch the game, listen to the music for a second, everybody. Take it all in. There are people wearing headphones listening to this, okay?
This is video game music to sleep to.
No, it's not. Oh my gosh, you sleep to this, you have the worst dreams of your life.
Let this be your moment of zen, of just steel talons, flying a helicopter.
This is okay, there's Zen, and then there's this, and that is the scale, okay? Between Zen and this. Yeah. everything in the world falls between those two extremes. Holy crap.
And there is another clear from Jean Fluff. Moving on to yet another race mission. And Pigeon Rat right behind, but this is where Pigeon Rat did catch up a bit. So we're going to see if there's going to be another lead change here, because Jean Fluff and Pigeon Rat are just neck and neck with each other.
Yeah, Jean Fluff did go pretty slow on the previous river maze section here. I'd be a little bit confused where I'm supposed to go just with the split at the beginning. There we go, Jean Fluff into the wall. That's what happens when you're flying a helicopter sometimes. You just crash and everything blows up. It's not good.
Linkura in chat asking, are these two going to clear the game? I will say no, they won't. Because when we get to the final mission of the game, you will see why that is not going to happen.
Uh-oh. Wait. How many missions are there?
So there are 14 missions in the game. There is a training mission, 12 regular missions, and then the last mission is labeled Expert. So the reason why it's labeled Expert is because you need to destroy 99 targets. You are given 2 fuel to do it.
No!
And so the only way to, and it starts off by telling you, find the supplies. So you need to find on the map the 2x2 square that is covering a helicopter pad that you can go to refuel yourself to get yourself more missiles and more fuel. Does it appear on your map? I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So I have my doubts that they'll be able to complete that. But I have been surprised by players in Kusogrand8. Some have finished games within 10 minutes when we had no idea that was even possible.
I do appreciate developers putting in levels that are stupid, ridiculously hard. But at the same time, that feels like they're really just trying to extend the amount they have to play here. And, just because you've had lackluster level design before doesn't mean that you have to throw, the impossible in at the last moment. Come on.
Yeah, it's not very fun or good game design. Especially when the entire thing up to this game, you never had to land your helicopter in a very small space before. We won't see that. At least I don't think we will.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Oh my gosh. I want to get out of this canyon. The crappy baby food colored, I don't know, it's gross. I don't like this canyon. That's definitely that's poop color. It is not healthy either. It's
which screen?
All of them.
All of them are poop color.
All of them are sick. All of them need to see a doctor, right now, okay?
I think Pigeon Rat is actually going to take the lead back.
Fail!
By 1 second!
What?
They failed it by 1 second! Oh, no!
Oh, that is so sad.
But technically, it is a lead change because they finished and completed the course faster than Jean Fluff. So if Jean Fluff Jean Fluff isn't going to complete it I think it's also going to get 1 second. Oh, they crashed.
Yeah, not even going to let it complete. Yeah, that's a lead for Pigeon Rat, not a completion. Oh, no. KM onto the river. I believe this is the first time KM has seen the race section.
But that is some wonderful, tangible progress for KM. finally getting past like a hurdle that has been troubling you for, I guess, almost 20 minutes in this game.
Yeah.
And they're actually controlling it pretty well so far. Like, they're getting through this canyon really quickly.
That's great. Like, here's the deal, you know, people learn a lot over time as they're playing, and that's extremely helpful to gain knowledge as you play, but at the same time, never feel bad if you're bad at a specific aspect of the video game, or if one game just doesn't mesh with you. Guess what? Most games are not like Steel Talons for Super Nintendo.
KM reset. They don't know. They don't know how generous the respawns are in this level.
KM assumes it will take you to the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. Giving them the save state is actually cursing them.
Well, I mean, we do tell players, you know, it's up to them how they want to use things. In general, after you die, you should pay attention to where it is. If you're going into a level that has different mechanics or different rules, it's always possible that the game is going to change its rules on you. And KM needs to learn this. KM is doing first person. Oh,
and
no.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're doing it, so we actually get to see some of it. It actually might help them see these walls a little bit better.
Huh. Yeah, I actually think this might be a fine strategy, you know?
All right, and it looks like Pigeon Rat is on to level 9.
I hate... Like, why did we need to hear the helicopter the entire time? The entire time. Chop, 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 chop.
Well, how would you know you're in a helicopter if you're in first-person mode, Brossentia?
You
could just be a person who's flying.
That's... Maybe I want to imagine I'm a person who's flying. Huh? People are saying it's immersion. Whatever, your face is immersion. Immersed in oxygen. That's how you breathe.
All right, so we got a little less than 15 minutes left in this match.
There we go! Jean-Fluff has finished it! You can tell because the music got choppier somehow.
And, like, just the monotone, like, boo at the end.
Do-do-do-do.
But yeah, has some work to try to catch up to Pigeon Rat right now. There are...
Yeah.
There are 18 targets in this, but Pigeon Rat only has gotten, I guess, 5 at this point.
Oh, we get the enemy radar music start. Whoop, 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 whoop. Again, kind of just sounds like gorillas jamming out for a while. Jean-Fluff was taking a lot of damage, and I don't know why.
So... I believe there are planes in the air, and there's also helicopters. If you are in their range, they will, almost like in Doom, hit scan you. So, like, if you're just in their range, they will hit you.
Gotcha.
There isn't anything you can dodge, because imagine trying to dodge things in this game.
Yeah, that's not going to be doable. Yeah, for those who want to know, by the way, Pigeon Rat and Jean-Fluff are on the same level. Pigeon Rat only has 6 targets left. Jean-Fluff has 14. Because of that, Pigeon Rat is slightly in the lead. Tenmiku, I believe, is in 3rd, trying to do the racing, or flying through the canyon stage, and KM is behind in 4th. It looks like the same level as Jean-Fluff and Pigeon Rat, kind of, but it's not. You can tell because the greens are slightly different.
Yeah, big props to Tenmiku, who was very much struggling early on, and is only 1 level behind our 2 leaders, technically. So they've done an incredible job making this comeback. Will they have enough time to actually come into that same level that they currently, that Pigeon Rat and John Fluff are in? Well, we'll see.
I think it's possible. Like, Tenmiku, if they can manage to one-shot this flying stage, which is possible, if Tenmiku can do that, then that will be a huge amount of time saved. And honestly, as I said, Tenmiku sometimes has a slow start when it comes to Kusogrande, and then just gets better and better as the match goes on, and sometimes steals it. I wouldn't be shocked if that happened, although Pigeon Rat did get to the next stage. Pigeon Rat currently one stage ahead of Jean Fluff.
Yeah, those racing stages were pretty much deadly for Jean Fluff, who has had very good routing missions for destroying all these targets. So it's going to be interesting to see if Jean Fluff can actually make that comeback, because I don't think there are any more racing missions left. All the other missions are just destroy all the targets.
Yeah, it seems like all the players have gotten fairly good at that. KM's still struggling a little bit with it, but is actually doing well on this stage. Hey, it looks like Jean Fluff is on to the next stage. That is an ace time. 3 minutes on a 4:15.
And moving on to mission 10. I mean, it might be possible that we'll see them get to that expert mission. They're not going to make that much progress in it.
Destroy all targets. Yeah, like when you have 99 targets to destroy, that is really going to be the question. Can anybody manage to clear a high number of them? Who is able to clear the most of them? And when you only have 2 refuels to go off of, oh, that's hard. My apologies. I choked on something. I've got lunch here. I'm trying to eat lunch as well as do commentary, and sometimes you can't do both at the same time.
All right, so with 10 minutes left, our current rankings right now, Pigeon Rat is in the lead, followed by Jean Fluff, who are both on the same mission. And by 1 second, Tenmiku does finish the race mission.
Oh my gosh, good job, Tenmiku. That is a huge amount of time saved. Tenmiku 1 stage behind Jean Fluff and Pigeon Rat. If Tenmiku can clear these next 2 stages faster than the other 2 had, there's a chance Tenmiku will move up in the rankings. This is great. KM, unfortunately, is probably taking 4th. I don't think there's a way out of this at this point.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, you know, sometimes you just get a game that doesn't mesh with you. And, like, well, the games aren't supposed to mesh with you, but this one is definitely not meshing hard. And Pigeon Rat, I believe, has moved on to mission 11.
Very nice. Oh, it's gray. Ooh, scary. Yeah, Jean Fluff has taken quite a few hits, losing some fuel every time they take a little bit of damage. That's fine, though. Like, with 4 refuels left, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, you have a lot of fuel. It's just crashing is really the main thing, because you lose a full canister of fuel if you crash.
Yeah, does it, like... Does it refuel the bar underneath, or
no? It takes the number away.
Oh,
so
no.
It goes from 3 to 2, and you still maintain that same fuel level that you had.
That's not good. Well, it looks like Jean Fluff is through the stage, moving on to the next, putting an extra stage between them and Tenmiku. Tenmiku still has an uphill battle if they want to take anything other than 3rd. But again, Like I said, like Tenmiku is getting better and better, and there is still the possibility, especially if Pigeon Rat or Jean Fluff make a mistake here, Tenmiku could potentially move up.
Yeah, so if you notice, a lot of these missions really only take about 2 to 3 minutes to complete. And with how much of a mastery I believe a lot of these players have gotten of the controls, oh gosh, Cam and Mouse losing that mission by only 5 seconds.
No! Always a heartbreaker. Yeah, honestly, welcome to Kusogrand8. Sometimes players do a heck of a lot better than we would have expected. It's just always a lot of fun to see how they do, you know? And Jean Fluff and Pigeon Rat are just blowing through this game. They're destroying it. Tenmiku also doing really good. Honestly, I think above what we would have expected.
Yeah, I'm honestly really surprised with a lot of our players. I thought they would get to maybe mission 8 and have that kind of be the wall, since I considered those racing missions to be one of the hardest ones. And Pigeon Rat just destroying this game. On to mission 12, they are 2 missions away from actually getting the completion of the game. They won't complete the game with the final mission, but they'll get pretty close by standards of mission numbers, not by actual content within the last level.
Yeah! Now, for clarification, Pigeon Rat is in the lead, Jean Fluff in second, Tenmiku in third. Tenmiku's level looks a lot like Pigeon Rat's, but it is not. It's 2 levels behind. KM currently trailing by quite a few levels. Honestly, though, I'm glad that everybody is still playing. Everybody is still trying their best to make progress. My bet is that everybody feels like they're doing worse than everybody else. Pigeon Rat, If Pigeon Rat wins, it's going to be a shock.
I mean, it doesn't feel good to control this game.
It doesn't feel good to watch this game. It doesn't feel good to anything this game.
I mean, and those are the moments, because as I've been in the seat that these players have. When you have a game that just like controls like butts, you never feel comfortable playing the game. Like, it doesn't matter if you're doing well, if you're doing poor. Like, you always feel like you're on that lower half. It's like, I'm definitely taking fourth, just how this game plays.
Oh yeah, if I got this game when I'm playing in Kusogrand8, I would be like, why would you do this to me? And I would be like, I would probably be angry for about an hour, and then I would let you know that I'm angry. At the same time, it's a little bit of a different experience between watching and playing. It often can be like, as painful as this is to watch, I think I might have a little bit of fun, like learning the rules of the game as I went through it. You know?
And there is a reset level from Jean Fluff. That is not a good sign if you're going to try to catch up. They don't know that, which is part of the joy of this format.
Yeah.
They have no idea where their opponent is. It's just giving a nicer lead to Pigeon Rat.
Yeah, with Kusogrand8, the players can talk in Discord, but otherwise they don't know how the other players are doing. They don't know if they're currently in the lead or if they are trailing far behind. It's all a mystery until the match is over, unless somebody says something, which occasionally I do see people type in Discord. And occasionally that's actually powered me, because I see somebody complaining about something and I'm like, oh, I'm past that already. Oh,
all
good.
Right. Pigeon Rat is on the expert. It's the final level of the game.
The final level. Find supplies.
Find supplies, everybody.
Find supplies in the green level. Ooh, it's emerald.
Oh, I guess it's only 90 targets.
Okay.
I mistook it for 99.
And
so actually a little bit better.
refills.
A little bit better. What a good game design. It's only 90 as opposed to 99. Yeah. as they'll find out there is zero chance that they'll be able to destroy all of these targets and not get the refuel. I don't know if the manual actually says anything about... it does. It says, the objective of an expert, destroy all ground and air targets, find secret areas that provide you with additional missiles and fuel.
Ah.
So where those secret areas are, who knows?
So right now, Ten Miku unfortunately did lose on this specific attempt and is having to start this level again. That pretty much seals third place for Ten Miku and fourth place for KM. Pigeon Rat crashed, has one refuel left. If Jean Fluff could, for some reason, get to the next stage in just the next minute or so, they have a chance to push into the lead.
It's looking very unlikely. They have less than half of their fuel left. And they still have to hit 6 more targets.
That's so many. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, the fact that Pigeon Rat got through this level without any issues, and Jean Fluff is actually having a lot of issues, is really putting how much of a mastery Pigeon Rat has gotten on the controls of this. Only taking out 6 targets in the final mission, but there's only about 1 minute left.
And Jean Fluff is out of fuel. I think it's pretty much locked in. I'll go ahead and let everybody finish what they're doing, make their best attempt, go ahead and push past what you did before to see if you can make a little bit of progress here. Otherwise, seriously, the players have been patient going through this game. This is rough. I'm not sure it's the worst game that we've had on Kusogrand8, but it's definitely one of the games that I would like to play less than others. Yeah.
I didn't want to bring in a platformer that, I've got mountains full of platformer Kuso. This is something unique. We don't get too many flight sims. So
True.
I just thought, what a fun way to start off Kusogrand8.
Yeah.
For me. With having a game that no one is ready for. No one is expecting something like this.
I always love getting non-platformer genres. Even if I know that I don't want to play the game, it excites me. And what else is exciting is that is time, everybody. Go ahead and throw your carts in the trash. This match is done. And it's very clear that Pigeon Rat has taken the victory today. Jean Fluff second, Ten Miku third, and KM Lone Mouse Wolf has taken fourth. Honestly, what an amazing watch. Yeah, Shrambles, if you can invite Pigeon Rat to come and chat, that would be fantastic. They just need to hop in the general voice channel. Otherwise, I think as a viewer, this was a miserable game. This is, it's so bad. Like, the audio just grates on my nerves. The visuals so stuttery because of the frame rate. You can tell that the controls feel like they're all lagging. Ten Miku has a GIF that is better than the game entirely. Like, this is the experience that we had here. And it looks like we have our winner, Pigeon Rat, with us. Hello there, Pigeon Rat.
Hello.
Congratulations. Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, that once you kind of get used to how the game works, the low frame rate isn't so bad. Like, you can just imagine the frames.
This was what I was saying at the beginning of the match.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm going to go ahead and let the players know what the order is for who took first, second, third, and fourth. Honestly, Jean Fluff was getting pretty close to you, but didn't quite get to the expert level, whereas you were the only one to get to the final level of the stage. How did you feel when you saw the goal pop up?
I mean, so, like, we were given the instruction booklet to read through, so I kind of... It very briefly outlines the mission, so I heard, oh, find the hidden areas? I have no idea what that means, so I'll just, leave it. I mean, the good thing is I had so little time left that I figured I didn't have to worry about it, because the time would elapse before I needed more fuel. So I didn't have to worry about trying to clear the expert level. I just had to go around shooting stuff to get as high a score as I could. Or to get as many targets destroyed.
And you got quite a few. One, there's an additional evil thing in this level. Shrambles, you want to explain what the evil mechanic is in the final level?
So the secret areas is that evil mechanic. There is like a very small, like little hangar that you need to find and actually land your helicopter in order to actually refuel to give yourself some more missiles and fuel to complete the rest of the mission. And you have to do that a few times.
Yeah, I'm just now looking at the number of targets left, 85. Yeah, that's a high number. I did not look at that number before.
Yeah, I was like... when I saw that, well, I mean, we thought it was going to be 99, so it ended up being 90, and we're like, oh, that's definitely better than 99. Oh, yeah, that's a huge difference. Seriously, it's such an increase in what you have to do over all of the previous levels that it's kind of ridiculous. Not only that, but like adding a mechanic for the final level. The final level is usually supposed to act as like the test that you have learned everything that you're supposed to learn while playing the game. And this game doesn't care. Nah, it's like we're gonna test you in every way possible. Yeah, like we were all complaining about how the game looks and runs. Did you sort of struggle with the controls when you started the game, or did they come naturally to you?
Definitely when I first started the game, like, I was very tentative in that first training mission, just getting used to like how quickly you turn, and we're talking about it right now in the chat between the racers that using the shoulder buttons to turn was much nicer than using left and right on the D-pad.
Oh yeah.
And once you kind of get used to that, get used to when to stop holding L, like I pretty much hold it until I turned halfway and then let go, and that was kind of a rough judge of how long to hold the L button to not go careening, turning too far.
Okay. Yeah.
I spent the most time on that training mission, and that's really where I got used to the controls, and it took a little while.
Yeah, that training mission doesn't really prepare you too much for what to expect for the rest of the game, because nowhere else do you fly through rings.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm typing to the next players here. Is there anything redeemable in this game, do you think?
I think there's plenty of stuff. It's kind of fun to fly around, and I think it'd be a fun speed run. Like, I noticed when you die, you start back in the middle with all of your missiles refilled, so, like, you could probably death warp a little bit, or take intentional deaths to, like, do fun routing and things like that.
Yeah. And a duck. Sorry. Yeah, I saw a duck on somebody's screen. I just want to make sure that I have everybody in place there. Yeah, the thing is, like, this is apart from an arcade game. I'd say that probably the arcade game does everything better, but honestly, everybody has sort of their own taste when it comes to video games. This is something that I absolutely do not want to play. I don't think I would have any joy in this game. But, like, it seemed to click for you, and that's what I liked seeing. Like, you and, really... Oh, who else? The one! Pigeon Rat. That's you.
Yeah.
Jean Fluff also, it seemed to click with them very well. Tenmiku, it kind of clicked a little bit. KM, this wasn't Cam's game, and that's fine. That's absolutely how it goes. You know, occasionally you get a game that doesn't really work for you, but it's so cool that it was able to click for you as well as it did.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm also reading that came and tried first person. Yeah, that's... I knew that was an option, but given, like, every other game I played with trying first person, I just didn't even attempt it. Like, it didn't even occur to me.
Honestly, Cam was having a great time with first person doing those follow the river levels. Like, it actually really helped them be able to judge the distance between the walls, so walls didn't just randomly appear and kill you.
Yeah, like that death at the end of my second river level, I'm like, I didn't think I was that close to the wall, but okay.
Yeah,
And
now
you also completed it, I think, with like 1 second over.
Yeah.
Now, what I would like everybody to know, all of the streamers here today, we're only talking to Pigeon Rat, but feel free to go follow the various players. Pigeon Rat, Jean Fluff, Ten Miku, and Cam Lone Mouse Wolf. They did a great job. And seriously, I'd love to help build the community here. Pigeon Rat, are you streaming on your own channel these days?
Not really. Every now and then I might stream like a La Mulana Rando seed, or like I used to stream when we did more community seeds in the La Mulana Discord, but I don't really stream on any regular basis.
Okay, well, that's completely okay. Like, if you do, let us know if you pick up streaming a little bit more frequently. Otherwise, heck, I'm glad that you came and joined, and, for your first ever Kusogrand8 match, you did a freaking fantastic job. Great job.
Yeah, I'll just give a quick shout out to Author Blues. He's sort of the guy who I learned about Kusa from. I watch him a lot, and he's someone who really enjoys bad games, and I like that attitude where you actually enjoy playing these sort of monstrosities rather than just like raging and yelling at them.
Well, I mean, every flawed game has something that you can say something good about. There are so many stories behind why games end up not being successful. Considering the history that Atari and Nintendo had with each other, I'm not too surprised that this port ended up being kind of a big flop. But at the same time, like, it's so cool to actually spend more than 2 minutes playing it and get into the meat and potatoes of the game.
Yeah. And even if a game doesn't feel good, it can be a very interesting experience. So I look forward to what awaits me in the tournament.
Yeah! Well, seriously, thank you. And Shrambles, thank you for giving the game. I have one last match, so I'm going to have to let both of you
All right.
go.
Have a good night.
Take care.
All right. See you, Brasentia.
See ya.